What's going on, folks? I just wanted to give my thoughts on the Black Panther movie. I saw it yesterday. It's a big deal. It's a big deal out there. Cultural event directed by Ryan Coogler. Starring Chadwick Boseman. You got Michael B. Jordan. Um, wow, just a bunch of slew of actors with Forrest Whitaker in there, Angela Bassett. Sterling K. Brown. You know, Lolita Wright steals the show. I mean, you got Martin Freeman in there, a couple of newcomers in there, Winston Duke, Lupita Nyong'o. I said her name wrong. Forgive me on that. I just think the movie was it was epic as far as from a cultural standpoint. As far as you know, for the youth and whatnot. Something for the black culture and it was really good to see. Just black excellence out there. On screen and stuff like that. It was something for everybody, but it wasn't just about the black experience. There was some things lacking in it as far as substance and things like that. But I know it was meant to show just a culture standpoint of African culture and trying to show us in a better light. The girl that plays Suri, Lolita Wright, she did her thing. She was an inspiration to young girls everywhere. Especially young women of color. Just letting you know that it's possible for you to get into STEM. The science, the math, the engineering, stuff like that. And it was entertaining as well. A little slow at times, but it was a setup movie for Black Panther and basically where it can go in the MCU. Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger, Eric Killmonger was a refreshing take on villains inside the MCU, which could be kind of stale at times. But I don't think he had enough screen time on there. I think they could have gave Michael B. Jordan a little bit more time, a little bit more dialogue, a little bit more action as it pertained to that. But Chadwick Boseman, excuse me, the star of the movie definitely held his own and carried it. What's going on, Coping Alone? I was just talking about my thoughts on Black Panther, seeing the Black Panther movie. It was an excellent movie. A lot of really good scenes, a lot of really good sentiments in there. The soundtrack was awesome, done by Top Dog Entertainment. Of course with Kendrick Lamar and the folks from Top Dog Entertainment. Featuring artists such as Future and The Weeknd and different folks that were on the soundtrack, that were featured in the movie. It was just a stellar cast. It was something worth seeing. Not just for people of color, but for anybody of that were just movie goers, anybody that are just fans of the MCU. Just the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So it was a cool experience. The tickets were a little pricey, but that's what happens. There's a guy who brought 1,000 more tickets at the kids to go see the movie. Yeah, no, it's definitely worth seeing. The movie already has made an estimated 426.6 million. You know, wow, making it the top grossing film with a black cast according to Forbes. So that's a pretty big deal. This is an epic thing. Yeah, there will be a sequel. There will be a sequel. You know, I just say it's cool to see. It's cool to see. This is it's more for the young kids. Because like I said, it was a cool movie. It was a lot of action. At certain points, there was stylistically, it was a visual spectacle to see, but it was lacking in certain substance. But I get it. This is the setup movie for what the Black Panther will become as a hero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I get it. It's almost akin to the first Captain America movie. So it was kind of slow, boring at times. I'm not saying Black Panther was slow and boring at times, but it was a setup. There were certain parts of Black Panther which were a little slow. I'm not gonna lie. There was a couple of parts, towards the beginning of the first act of the movie, which is the setup. That kind of have you like, maybe they need to speed this along a little bit. There's some things that they probably could have done a little bit better as far as with Michael B. Jordan, but that's a direction standpoint. As a villain, he definitely played his part. There was Forrest Whitaker. He held his role. I mean, everybody in this movie was necessary. Everybody in this movie really held their own. because of medical problems. They can't go to the movies. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, coping alone, that you can't go to the movies and whatnot. But when you get a chance to see Black Panther, be it on Netflix or be it on any streaming services, I definitely encourage people to check it out. I definitely encourage people to, give this one a look. I mean, is it something you have to go rush out and see? Particularly not. No. I mean, to support. It's Black History Month, so there's a lot of excitement that comes around. This whole thing as far as as far as for a person of color, this is a cultural thing, a chance for a new generation to see, a bunch of black actors or prominent black actors and new black actors and actresses on screen doing something in a positive light. So it's the movie is more symbolic than anything. It's a way to see black people in a different light, in a positive light. It's something that's really a breath of fresh air and much needed. And hopefully, it can go further than just this one movie. People were saying that it may change the way that movies and Hollywood in general sees black people. So who knows? But definitely there's a lot of black excellence there. There's a lot of excellence from all the actors that are inside the movie. Because it does hit on different levels. It does try to have something for everybody inside the movie. So it's not just okay if you're a black person, you go to the movie and then everything is just so Afrocentric. I pray so because I'm the type of person that doesn't see color and talent. Yeah, no, definitely. It's a lot of talent in this movie, Coping Alone. And I definitely encourage people when they have the time. Is this something you have to go rush out and see? Not necessarily. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say you have to rush out and see Black Panther. But if you do have the chance, if you do have the time, if you do have the extra money, I encourage you to go see it. But it is something that you can wait for. If you want to wait for like a streaming service or on DVD, if still people still watch that, it is a good movie to see. I mean, if you're a person of color and you've never seen something like this before, then it is definitely worth checking out. Like I said, again, Chadwick Boseman holds his own as Black Panther, and there's a cool villain in Michael B. Jordan as Eric Killmonger. And then the supporting cast is very awesome. There's a lot of moving parts and pieces that I don't want to give any spoilers to. I know there's a whole bunch of spoilers out there for what people have seen and heard from other videos. These are just my reaction, just my thoughts on it. My thoughts on the movie, that it was a good movie. It wasn't a great movie. It was a good movie. It was something worth seeing. It was very Afrocentric for what it was, and I think that's what some people wanted. An Afrocentric movie. On a substance, it was lacking a little bit for those folks that may have wanted a deeper message. But then you say, okay, it is still, a Marvel cinematic movie. But like I said, there's nothing wrong with that per se. It's just, it was some nice entertainment. Thanks for letting us know. See the trailer. Yeah, it's an exciting movie, Coping Alone. It's an exciting movie to watch. It definitely has a killer soundtrack, great visuals, cool directing, awesome performances. I mean, like I said, Angela Bassett delivers and Forrest Whitaker plays their role. Hey, Marks plays. Thank you for coming through. Like I said, everybody that's in this movie fit. Even the Sterling K. Brown, as his role in there. I won't say what his role in there it was, but he played an important part. Everybody played an important part. Martin Freeman, Andy Serkis, everybody in there. I'm saying some names wrong, but this is definitely a movie worth going to see, just from a cultural standpoint. What's going on, Picker Rick One? I appreciate you for coming through. Like I said, I, did the movie go beyond the hype of what people were saying it would? I think the movie lived up to the hype. There were some people saying that the movie was better than the hype. I think it matched it. There was a lot of things that were left out, things that they could have done better. But I think for a lot of people that don't know, Wakanda Forever. There you go, Wakanda Forever. Now I see somebody seen in Mark's place. It is what it is. But there is takes on a black lead, being a superhero in a movie, which is a big deal. It's a big deal. I would like to see more Asians and more Spanish, in like lead roles, as superheroes and things like that. So it's definitely something I would be into. And this is a step in the right direction. This movie, just a step in the right direction as far as representation of people of all colors. Just basically, being represented in movies in general. So to have basically a mostly black cast, it was something cool to see, refreshing to see. It's not the first time I've seen it, but it was good to see it in this movie, and especially to have a big budget movie with a black cast, a black director, a black lead. It was cool to have a good story. It's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Have a great day, Mel. Something things right. Now it's all good. Coping alone. I appreciate you for coming through. Yeah, Michael Skeen, Wakanda forever. There you go. Wakanda forever. But there will be a sequel to this movie because it made so much money. Because Forbes is reporting that the movie just made like 442, no, 426 million worldwide, if I'm not mistaken, as it stands right now. In the states, the movie made like 200 and what did this movie make in the states? They're saying this movie made 242 million. It says it owns the second best 4-day opening and defeats The Last Jedi as far as one of the best. So it did a great job in racking up, numbers and garnering excitement for the people and stuff like that. So, like I said, don't take my word for it. I just encourage folks to go out there and see it. Check it out for yourself when you get the time, and let me know what you think. Like I said, Wakanda forever. That's my. It was great for American heritage and culture. Yes, it was. But again, I think that's where I stand with that. Check it out. Cool movie. Spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. Thank you.